Olga.
What is life? Well, this is the most hard question to answer because everyone will give you a different explanation according to the struggles, the love, the pain, the joy, and more that they are going through. Sometimes we do not make life. It's life that makes us. Some things happen and we completely have no power over them. We just have to watch until they end. It might be hard and painful, but we have no other choice. Today, we bring you an update of olga blessing, a 6-year-old that everyone thought that she was pregnant in the first place. Today, we visit her again, and we have been doing this for many times now. This is her mother. She is called Celestine. This is her father. They have been going through a lot, but today it's completely a different and almost the saddest story that we have ever uploaded from day one. Olga's story was told many times before. She was going through terrible pain and treatment in their country was not possible at all. The only option they had was to go abroad and try advanced surgery. People around the world donated money for her treatment because her parents could not afford. The doctors operated her and she was completely fine. The large belly was now gone. She was supposed to go through a couple of different heart surgeries. She made it through all of them. She was happy and she called her mother saying that everything was fine and she was going for one last surgery. But unfortunately, she did not make it.
Indivaho pe turanezerwa turavuga urugana nawe rugaranezerwa kuko yajyaga ambwira ati mama ati yanda hebe yaragiye ngiye kuza
Honestly, this was a lot of pain for each and everyone that knew Olga, the 6-year-old beautiful girl that we loved and still love. She got hope to live again and she went abroad, and we expected to pick her up from the airport with a lot of joy. But this never happened. She was born normally, just like any other babies. She was going to school, but about 2 years ago, everything changed and she mysteriously got sick. It kept on becoming worse as days went by. It was one morning and Olga was in nursery school. Early that day, she claimed to be having stomach pain and the belly grew and turned into this. The people around her started saying that she was pregnant and her mother tried taking her to the hospital for treatment, but she could not afford because it was very expensive. They were visited by Afrimax and their story got told to the world. According to Celestine, their life totally changed when the story was aired. Very many people watched it when it was published. They all contributed and donated money for Olga's treatment because her mother had been taking care of her from home for so long because they could not afford to go to a better hospital. A few days later, we visited them for the second time and gave them the money that was donated. It was a lot of happiness when she received this money. She was so happy, and at this point, she could see her daughter in school again. She immediately scheduled to go to visit one of the hospitals that they couldn't afford in the first place. Unfortunately, these hospitals did not manage to help them and they finally had to send her abroad because it was there that they could offer the kind of surgery that she required. They went back home, but the situation got worse. because the money she had was not enough to take them abroad. Olga's entire belly started swelling to the fullest, and this is when they rushed her back to the hospital for treatment, but this time it was quite helpful because other body parts that were swelling had become normal, but the belly, nothing changed about it. They were visited by Freemax again, and their story got told to the world. This time, she was requesting for help to take her daughter for advanced treatment in Italy because they believed that it's where she could get the surgery that was going to change her life forever. Fortunately, people still donated. She received the money and started processing on the documents that were supposed to take them to Italy. It took months because they did not have an Italian embassy in their country. Later, they got visas and they flew to Italy. Olga was treated, but unfortunately, this turned out to be worse than they thought. She needed a couple of heart surgeries and not just one. This made it very expensive and they needed more money. Their story was told and people still donated with hope to see Olga becoming fine. She went through the surgeries that she was supposed to undergo. They were all successful and the belly now was gone and everything was okay. We were waiting for Olga to come back home so healthy and happy because it's what we all hoped for. Unfortunately, as they were getting ready to come back home, she mysteriously got weak and she later fainted. The good news is that they were still in the hospitals and the doctors carried her to find out what was the problem this time. The heart and the belly were completely fine and normal. They had to check in the head and this is where the problem was found. She had started bleeding inside her head and they inserted a tube to drain out this blood. This worked for some time, but the blood was too much and it later got on her brain. On the 30th of September 2021, Olga passed on. This was a lot of pain for everyone. Her parents, siblings, doctors, family, and each and everyone that tried to help out with their situation. Celestine says that Olga was going through a lot of pain, but she was a girl that was so strong. She tried not to keep crying, though what she was going through was terrible. She tried all she could to try not bothering her mother. She was a beautiful, adorable and loving girl that we will all never forget. She will always live in our hearts forever. A lot of people watching did all they could to save this little girl. It is so sad that things had to turn out this way. It was so painful seeing these little children burying their sibling.
Ndashimira Freemax, ndashimira buri muntu wese wagize uruhare mu kurwara kwa Olga ari abasenze.
Celestine thanks each and everyone that gave in a hand to rescue her little angel, though it wasn't successful. She says that she will forever be grateful from the bottom of her heart.
Ukwameze ukabiterura basi ukabinshiraho nkamuruhura wakaba muzima nibura.
Thank you for watching.